Hi, my name is Jennifer Salter with eXp Realty, and I am a licensed North Carolina real estate agent and realtor. In North Carolina, we are required as agents to provide the Working with Real Estate Agent brochure to all consumers looking to buy or sell property in the state of North Carolina. This brochure is not a contract, but it does provide you an outline of the different types of services a real estate agent can provide for you in the state of North Carolina. For instance, if you are a seller working with an agent, the first thing you're going to do is to sign a listing agreement. After you've signed that listing agreement to authorize the firm and its agents to represent you, they owe you certain things. First of all, we have to promote your best interest. We have to follow your lawful instructions, disclose any material facts that may influence your decision making, and of course, provide skill, care, and diligence throughout the transaction. Now, there are some services you get from a real estate agent when you are selling a piece of property. So basically, besides helping you determine a price for your property, marketing your property, and giving you all the required property disclosure forms that you need to complete, of course, we're going to help negotiate the best price and terms for the sale of your property. Now, in some cases, being that you are signing with the firm and not the individual agent, it's important to know that you are going to be asked if you allow dual agency. A dual agency, as you know, I'm with eXp Realty. So if I put your house for sale and it's for sale by eXp Realty, there are some instances where another eXp agent may come and bring a buyer for that property. That is dual agency, and more specifically, designated dual agency, where I can still perform and promote your best interest while the buyer agent can do the same. However, there are some instances that you may choose to elect yes or no on. But if I'm selling your property and I'm an eXp agent and I bring personally a buyer to your house that wants to make an offer on the property, that would limit how I can represent both of you, because obviously there's two competing sides. And so my agency relationship in the event that was to occur would be very minimal. And my job at that point would be fair and honest to both parties. So as a seller, you have a right to decide if you want that type of agency or if you would prefer a designated agency where they have their own buyer agent, and that way I can more fully represent you. If you're a buyer in the state of North Carolina, your agency agreement must be reduced to writing at the time you want to make an offer. But again, until it's reduced to writing, please do not tell the real estate agent anything you wouldn't want a potential seller to know. Now, we also have responsibilities to you as a buyer's agent. Once you have signed an agreement to be represented by a specific realtor for your property search, they basically owe you what I like to call loads, okay? We owe you loyalty and obedience, accounting, due diligence, and of course, skill in the transaction. And very similar to the selling side, there may be an instant where you have to agree or disagree with allowing your agent to be a dual agent. And what that means is if you fall in love with a home that's also being sold by an eXp agent, that would be dual agency situations. So in those instances, you would either have to allow them to represent you in that way as a designated dual agent, or you can elect not to have that type of representation. The last thing is you could be a seller's agent working with a buyer. So basically, if I'm representing a client and they choose not to be represented as a buyer's agent, then if they wanted to continue with a transaction, I would in effect be representing the seller in that transaction. So I would be working with the buyer to help them complete any paperwork, but I could not advise them, and it would not be my responsibility to basically give them all of the things I would give in a normal situation, like loyalty and obedience, accounting, due diligence, and skill. My responsibilities would lie with the seller, and that's only for seller's agent working with a buyer. Now, at the end of this disclosure that you're given from any North Carolina realtor, they're going to ask you to sign this as receipt, showing that they've done what they're supposed to do in the state of North Carolina by disclosing this information to you. As you can see here, it says agents are required to review this with you and must retain this acknowledgement for their files. This is not a contract. I hope that helped you a little bit understand the Working with Real Estate Agent brochure and how an agent in North Carolina can represent buyers and sellers.